so you can't see me. But it's 1:07 in the morning. Hi, Nola. I just had to call my mom for like an hour because my anxiety decided to freaking have a party, and I was like, this isn't fun. So, took a little bit, but finally I think I'm able to go back to sleep. So, good night. Now, actually, good morning. Yeah, it is now 8:10. I am awake for the day. Last night, or like really, really early this morning, from like 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. was not a fun time because I woke up and like my lower abdomen was like in pain, basically, or like aching. That's probably the best way to put it. And so, of course, with my anxiety, I like started panicking, and I was like, does that mean I'm sick? Like, did something I ate like not agree with me? Like, what's going on? Like, and so I ended up calling my mom to just like talk with her, because thank goodness, like, I'm so glad that they picked up the phone, because I don't know what I would have done if they hadn't. So fortunately, then by 1, I was pretty much back to being totally fine. So yeah. So this morning there's no pain, and my anxiety is gone. I'm still like hesitant because I'm always like, is it gonna come back? But I wouldn't call it anxiety. Just hesitance. Yeah, the thing though about after I have like an attack like that, an anxiety attack like that, is that the next day, for like a good part of the next day, so for a good part of today, it kind of like knocks me out of my zone a little bit, and so I'm kind of like off kilter for most of the day. So I'm really glad now that I finished my schoolwork last night, and I do want to finish up, fully finish up the Texas film, which the only thing I have to do is just add in like additional casting services provided by Breakdown Express or Breakdown Services or something, because I realized I forgot to put that in. But I do plan on releasing all 3 of those parts this week, so then that way it can be out and I can create the IMDb page. So if, like, I'm not feeling too bad right now, like, I feel pretty centered, yeah, so fun times. The other thing I want to do, if I'm up to it, which I don't know if I'll actually do, but I'd like to go to like Shoppers Drug Mart or something, because the day after Valentine's Day, all the Valentine's Day candy is on sale. I do not need any more candy in my house, but, you know, just to go see what's there. And then also if I can get something from my mom, just when I meet her at the airport. She's coming in today. That's it too. My mom is coming in today. And I'm really glad now that she's actually coming in later, so that way I kind of have this day to kind of get back on track, like with my brain back on track. But yes, she's coming in today. She flies in about 9:20 my time. So yeah. So I just submitted the IMDb page for the ones, not the ones who survived, Where We're Meant to Be. I put it as a mini-series since I'm going to release it in 3 parts, so instead of just putting it as a short film. So hopefully that'll work out okay, and I can remember how to like put in separate episodes. But if not, I can just go in and change it to be a film, and hopefully that'll be fine. But yeah, that's done. I have the first part uploaded on Unlisted. I still need to make the poster for it, but right now I'm gonna take a break from all that and sit down. So it's currently 11:38. I'm gonna sit my butt down and finally finish this book. It's taken me so long because it has not been very interesting for me, but I'm so behind on reading for February. So yeah, we've got to get past this one to get to one that I actually enjoy. I finished the book. Hallelujah. It just, the way it ended too, I was like, so basically the premise of the story, if I haven't mentioned it, I'm leaning on my couch because I just feel like sitting like this. The premise of the story is the 2 kind of main characters. The main character is Jack, but like he and his wife Stephanie, who like you end up finding out that like their daughter passed away in this accident, and anyway, their tires get slashed and they have to go to this house, and then the house is like evil, and it's just this whole big thing. So you're like, okay, I know the house is evil, but they start introducing like so many elements that I got really confusing, that I was like, wait a second, what, like, and it wasn't, as we call it, your suspension of disbelief. It was going way beyond my suspension of disbelief. And then they brought in a whole like spiritual thing into it, which I don't have a problem with usually, but it just didn't fit, and it just didn't work. And then the ending sucked. Like, the amount of character growth was like this much in the two main characters, or they didn't, considering how bad they were at the start and kind of throughout, I think the redeeming quality or whatever, it was not enough for me to be like, oh, now I'm empathetic. Like, I just know. Especially the character Stephanie. Gosh, she was so obnoxious. So obnoxious. So yeah, 372 pages of but now I have so many new books to read, but because I'm so behind and it took me so long to read that one, I have decided to reread the Sisters Grimm series, which they're smaller books. They're like 270 pages, and they're more square shaped rather than rectangle, so that kind of cuts down on word count too. So I've decided I'm going to reread those so I can, they're, you know, smaller books, kind of middle grade books, so I can catch up with my numbers. I think there's 8 of them, so then that would bring me to 29 books. So hopefully if I can finish that whole series by the end of the month, that'll be great, and then I can go back to reading the new stuff I have. Also, I'm obviously like taking things slow with food today, just like being overly cautious just because of last night. So all I've had to eat today was a plain single Eggo waffle this morning with no syrup, nothing, just that. And then a little bit later, I had a Nutri-Grain granola bar. And then a little bit later than that, I had Flavor Blasted Goldfish. Trying to go for foods that are like pretty, like, you know, basic, pretty, you know, and then, what else did I have? Oh, and then I was like, okay, now I'm gonna make myself, like, an actual kind of, like, meal thing, so I'm doing ramen, because, like, you know, that's pretty basic. I just do the chicken-flavored ramen, so, you know, easy, but I had one of my, like, apple, like, the, what is it? The go-go squeeze things, because I'm like, I've had those before, and those are fine, and it's just applesauce, so I was like, okay, another plain thing. But the only thing with doing those smaller things, like just a granola bar, just this, because I would do time in between just to, like, make sure that, you know, my body wouldn't revolt, which it hasn't. But the thing is that my anxiety wants to kick in because I'm hungry, but of course my brain is like, what if you're not actually hungry? And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm actually just hungry because it's 3:04 and I haven't had actually anything that's like the size of a substantial meal at one point. So ramen is my first like actual substantial meal at this point, and I told myself I would have that once I finished the book. So I would allow enough time in between the, what did I have? The Flavor Blasted Goldfish, and, which now I just had one of those apple things, but I'm kind of doing that as the side to my ramen, so. I'm watching House of Anubis. Jerome's my favorite. I love Jerome. And this is when he likes Mara, but Mara is with Meg. And it's just saddening, because I'm like, my babe. But then he does like a, you know, a jealous thing or whatever, and I'm like, no, you're better than this, stop. So I was just sitting here probably for the past 45 minutes and was practicing my pitch for Tuesday, which I'm really glad I did because I wanted to put in like a video that I had for it, but when I was timing it, it was like, it's a 30-second video, which doesn't sound that long until you've only got 5 minutes to do a pitch, and when I'm explaining rings, like it, yeah. So anyway, this is what it looks like. This all orange stuff I actually don't pay attention to, because now I pay attention to this, which is main points, because basically here are my main points. Find Box in the rings, balance school magic and Ashton finds out, Noah meets Carmen, Noah meets Hannah, Violet's not herself and attacks Hannah, the trio meets Colton visiting Hannah, Carmen tells the original 8 story and reveals Kimberly had a ring, and that the only way that a ring can be taken off of its owner is if the owner's dead. Then Violet gets Kimberly's ring, the secret is revealed and the trio breaks apart. Violet is not herself, Faith and Noah connect the dots with the picture of the original 8, and then they get Hannah back in the vial, and Violet takes care of Colton. And my ending is, I hope you'll choose to slip on a metaphorical ring and see how this adventure unfolds, because that's that. So I'm really glad I tested it out. I'm about 4 minutes and 40 seconds right now, which it's a 5-minute pitch, so that's good, because you don't want to like only take up 3 minutes when you have 5 minutes, but you also don't want to be at like, well, I guess you could be at 4 minutes and 59 seconds. But anyway, so yes. The time has come, finally. It's 8:16. I am heading out to Shoppers Drug Mart quickly to see if they have any Valentine's Day chocolate or whatever on sale, because that's pretty close to Yaletown Roundhouse Station. And if I can get something for my mom, then yay. And then if I don't find anything, whatever. And then I'm taking the SkyTrain to head to the airport to meet my mom. My mom's here. She ran to the restroom, but she's who's here? Yay! Hello. Mom's here, and it's 11:21, and we're both tired, so bedtime. Alrighty, we are getting ready for bed because we're tired. Nola is not tired. No, she's not tired. She's like, what is this? Whoa, whoa, hello. Hello. Anyway, so yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. All my social media is in the description. Love you all.